Hey distance learners, welcome to Mr. Casberg's ceramic class. We are making pinch pots today, and we're gonna kind of go through the whole process. So if you need to pause the video, pause it, but before you pause it, you need clay. This is a bag of clay. You need a board or something to work on because it will be getting a little dirty. You'll want a needle tool, so I sent that needle tool home with you. And you'll want a little bit of water, so just a bowl with some water in it you will need as well. Before we even get started, I want to tell you that clay can make marks on your clothes, but it should dust off, and if it doesn't dust off, then it should be able to just wash out. So let's get this started. So get out a ball of clay. Here's a ball of clay, and just kind of work it. I don't know if you can see, it's got some kind of abnormalities in it, or just some cracks or whatnot in it. So you just kind of work it in your hand, trying to make it into maybe like a baseball. Get it about that shape right there. And we're literally making a pinch pot, so we are going to start pinching in. So let me pause a second and show you. I've just barely started pinching, and I do it with my thumbs. It tends to work a lot better. I'm trying to turn it to show you. So let me pinch a little bit more. Trying to keep it round, right? You can make a bowl, you can make a cup out of this. I guess you can even make a vase or whatever you want. Our students made all kinds of different fun things. Notice I'm kind of smoothing right now. This is what's kind of neat about clay, is it's very forgiving. So you'll have some bumps and lumps and things, and you just take your eraser here and you just erase those bumps and lumps out and smooth it out. So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself because let's keep working on this. Before we get too far, I want to tell you that keep this pot fairly thick. I know you should have been able to see the rubric online on Google Classroom, and the rubric says to make it thin, and I agree. But what happens is students get too thin with this. So I'm going to keep working this, and I'm going to pause the video and I'll show you. Literally, I just kind of keep turning it around in a circle in my hands, making it thinner and thinner. And as I do it, I'm going to get to a certain thickness, and I want to show you some things. So there you go. I wouldn't get it too much thinner than that. This is probably optimum. This bowl here is probably optimum. This might be a little bit thicker, but I want to show you that we're getting some cracks along in here. And again, you just take out your magic eraser, your finger, and you just kind of rub it along there. Now, it might get really dry, and you just want to add a little bit of water to it. Dip my finger in the water, and I'm just kind of rubbing it along there. So that kind of works as well. All right, so I've been working this, kind of smoothing. I don't know if you could tell. It's a little bit smoother. The bottom maybe needs a little bit of smoothing still, but I spent some time smoothing it. I definitely recommend for you to spend more time than I did, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to spend some more time. Again, leave your lip fairly thick. You do not want your lips to look like this. This is very cracky. This was probably done on day one when students were just playing with clay. So this is just an example of what not to do, unfortunately for them. So anyway, if it starts to look like this, you can just crumple it up and start over, which is totally fine. Or you can try to work it, but honestly, when it gets to that point, it's kind of done. So crumple it up, start over. You might want a separate bag for like super dry clay. If it gets super dry and absolutely unworkable, just set it aside, but bring the clay back and I will repurpose it, and I can actually get it totally wet again in order to be worked. So let's go back to the bowl. So we've got our pinch pot. It looks great. If you are done and you're happy with it, sign your name on the bottom. Put a date. I usually put a date on there, but put your name on the bottom and set it aside. Let it dry out. All right?